All right. So I don't know why it's like today is not going to be easy because of network issues, but then that will not delay us. So we're just going to go ahead. I know that most of us here are either church designers, club designers, and I know some of us are trying to also get into other different part of design. You know, some of us are maybe aspiring cover art designers. So why not? Some of you are definitely designing cover arts for artists. You know. Okay, so we're going to look at this. So we're going to look at designing church flyer, designing restaurant flyers, designing club flyers. I think these are the main three things that we're going to cover today. So I think with that, we're going to actually cover a lot of things. You get. So please, before we get into that, let me know if you had any issue with the assignment I gave. Please go ahead. Let me know if you have any issue with the assignment I gave. Yes, Angmi, please you can go ahead.
So when I did the assignment, one of the things that I struggled with was that once I took off the background from the picture, I realized that there were some dark edges around the picture and it was difficult for me to make it blend with the background. I don't know if there's a solution for that.
So there were some dark edges.
Yes, dark edges, like the edges were too sharp and there was a color difference between my background, the background I chose to put in the flyer, and the picture itself.
Let me see. Let's see. Let me create a new document. Oh, sorry. Let me create a new document. Create a new document. Let me create a new document. Okay. Let me see what you did. Okay. Okay, so this is your design, right? This is your design. Okay, you're thinking about these edges. Okay, please also first thing first, you need to know that automatic removal of background is not the best solution. It's not the best way to remove a background of any object. Is that okay? Removing
Yeah.
automatically is not the best way. So, but then if you do remove it automatically, what I usually do is that, please, can you mute your mic? So, please, thank you. So, when I would automatically remove a background, what I usually do is that, because normally when you automatically remove a background, let me just do a rough removal of background from this. I don't know if it's going to be perfect. Let me just roughly do that. I'll choose my quick selection here. Then I'll take select subject. Just look, wait. Okay, now this is what I have here, right? Now, what I usually do is that I will go to select up here and I'll go down to modify. I'll click on contract. So it means that they should shift this selection inside a bit so that all the other parts that were not selected, maybe there were some fringes at the end, it should be selected. So if I click on contract, what it's going to do is that I can choose the number of pixels that I want. For example, if I choose 2 pixels, it's going to move in by 2 pixels. If I click on 4 pixels, it's going to move in by 4 pixels. But let me just see, for example, let me just choose 3 pixels and click OK. Look at what happened. So it shifts inside by 3 pixels. So now if I have to remove the background now, I'll just add my layer mask here. It remove the background. So you can look at it and you can compare it again. Now, if it's still there, but to me, I feel like it's okay. But if it's still there, what you can do is that you can just press your control. You click inside the layer mask here. It's going to create this. It's going to highlight the selection again. So you go to select the same thing. You scroll down to modify, then contract again. Maybe you can contract this time around maybe by 1 pixel. So again, you can contract by 1 pixels, and then you click OK. Once you're done now this time around, you don't want the 1 pixel to affect everything because you might make it until maybe there are some parts on the head where it might be cut out. Let's say you have the ears, you have the earring, in some complicated cases. Then now at the end, you notice that maybe the earring has been cut out because you over moved you over contracted the selection and stuff like that. So what you need to do is that you need to grab your brush tool. So I'll select my brush. If you don't know where the brush is, just press B on your keyboard. The brush will be activated. The brush will be active. Once the brush is activated, now you can as well increase the size of the brush here. It will decrease it depending. Now, what I'm going to do is that I will, instead of having this selection here, I'll instead invert the selection. So I'll go to selection and then I'll click on inverse selection. You can see the command, the shortcut here, inverse selection. Now with the inverse selection, I'll go on make sure that I'm on the layer mask, not on the actual picture, the layer mask. And then I'm just going to paint around like this. And make sure that maybe my opacity here is 100%. I'll just paint around like this. You get. So I just want to paint where I want to take off all the dark spots. Is that okay? So I have something like that. You get. All right. Please let me know if there's any question. So that's basically how you can take it. You can do that. You get. So that's how you can do it. Let me know if that's okay, please. I mean, let me know if I answer your question.
Yes, that's okay. I'll try it out. I'll try what you've done and see what it gives me.
All right, like I said, that this is not the best way to remove a background of a picture. So the best way to do that is to use your pen tool instead. Pen tool, make sure that you're here, you're on path, and then now you start selecting manually. This is the best way to remove it. With this, you get exactly what you know what to select and stuff like that. You get. So again, please, there's a masterclass coming up. This is on site and also online. And it's a 1-month intensive masterclass. So with that, we're going to teach you how to use pen tool very well, how to use pen tool to select your background. Because like I said, if you have a complicated background, there's no way you can use automatic selection tool or select subject to select it. You probably need to use your pen tool. So with that, we're going to teach you how to use the pen tool. We're going to teach you how to use brush, we're going to teach you how to use layer mask, how layer masking work, how to enhance images and all the rest. So there's a lot that we're going to look at that we'll not be able to look at it within this class, this period of time. I want to go deep into logo designing and also books design and every other thing. So this was just a crash course. With that, we're going to go deeply into also understand how you can do something like this. Take your time and select stuff and and cut out from the background like this. So the semester coming on in July. So if you're interested after this, you can actually as well reach out. So with that now, I think with this, you can, once you do your selection, make sure that you always come back to the original spot where you started and stuff like that. So once you're okay, just click your selection and everything here is going to be selected. Let me delete this. Just drag and drop here to delete it. Delete. So that's it. If I want to create my selection, this will happen. So if I zoom now, look at the edges. It's really clean. You get the edges are clean. So this is how you take your time to remove the background. Don't think that all the professional billboard players that they use automatic selection. No, they use manual selection. They use manual cutout like what I just did. So we're going to teach you how to do all these things. All right. Please let me know if you have any question. Hello guys, welcome back. So like we discussed, like we said, today we're going to work on 3 different type of flyers. So we're going to work on a church flyer, a club flyer, and a concert flyer. Because I believe that most of us here are either church flyers designers, either maybe club flyers designers and maybe concert flyers or cover art. At least we've seen cover art. So we're just going to focus on these 3: church, concert, and we'll look at club. Okay, so without any further whatsoever, so without any other things, so let's just get started to it. So basically, let me just create a new document. Like I usually explain it. For social media, I usually use 1080 by 1350. So after that, I usually multiply this by 3 to have a good and high quality image output. So I usually multiply it by 3 or 2. 2 is still fine. So I'll just multiply by 3. So I'll leave the resolution like this. Fine by me. I'm going to click OK. So now let's look for our sample. I like this this church flyer. So I'm going to use church flyer as my idea because I like the way it is, the background is, and then I'm going to sample the colors from it. I like the color. I'm going to use the color for my concert flyer. So like I explained earlier, concert always have a theme, a color theme. So I'm using this as my color theme. So I'm going to use it throughout to work on this. So now what I'm going to do is that I'll just create my gradient background. So I'm just going to sample my gradient from here. I'll click on my background. I'll go inside here. I'll choose gradient. So you might not see it, but all I'm going to do is that I'll click on this drop down. click on the basics, drop down basics. So I'll select any of this. I'll just select this one for example, click on it, double click on this color stop here, and I'm going to sample the first color, which is this thick blue here, this thick royal blue here. I'm going to click OK. Then I'll double click on this other color stop again. I'm going to click somewhere here within inside like this. Voila. Here I think that's fine. And then after that I'm going to click OK. So now the next thing I'm going to do is I'll turn off this one here, and then I'll double click on this. I'm going to just drag it down. So now I want to make it a radial instead of being a linear grid style here. I'm going to change it to radial, so you can see my radial. So instead darker in the middle and brighter at the edges. So I want to make the reverse. I'm just going to reverse it here, and then I'm going to have something like this. And I'm going to take down the scale down to, let's say, 70%. Yeah, so I have something like this. And then after that I'll just click OK. Now if I click back on this one here, on this is my sample here, I will just sample this color in the middle here. So I'm going to press I on my keyboard and I'll just click on this color here. The color is going to be selected, and as you can see it here. Once I'm done, I will just hide it again. I'll take my brush tool, increase the size of my brush tool. So you are not seeing this because you're seeing this because we need to have an empty layer here. So if you can actually click, could not click because the target layer is hidden. So it is hidden here. That's why, and that's not why I want to paste it. So I'm going to create a new layer here. I'll call it highlights. With the highlight, I'm just going to click inside here and increase my right click and increase my brush size. Just increase it, take down a bit. Okay, not bad. I think I'm just going to click inside like this somewhere here, and I'll just click again one more time. So I'm just going to increase it. I'm going to increase it like this. I'm just going to increase it so you have something like this. Yeah, so that's it. So you can see mine here and you can see it here. Let me just take this one up so you see. So you see I have something like this. Alright, so I have something like this. So the last thing I'm going to do is to add a gradient again. So this time I'm going to change this color here to black. Change the color here to black, or not purely black even. I'm going to just sample this color and then I take this one down here, switch him towards black to have something like this. I'm going to click OK. Then I'm going to create a new layer mask, a new gradient. Now with my new gradient, I'm also going to change the blending mode to radial, and I also reverse it again, so you have something like this. Voila. So now I'm going to increase this a little bit to, let's say, 114. Maybe it's not bad. And then I'm going to change the blending mode here from normal to multiply, and I'm also going to take down the opacity to about 50, 60, depending on what works. I think 60 is fine. Okay, and then I'll select the layer mask here, and I'll go to my brush. I mentioned that my color here is black, and then I'm just going to paint inside here like this, because I don't want this color to really affect my picture, that my inside Canva like that. So I want to hide it a bit. So I want it to affect just these edges like that. That's what I'm painting with in the middle here. Also, I'm going to change the blending mode of this to screen, so you have something like this. Screen. I'm going to take down the opacity a bit as well. So now if at some point I feel like I'll do it, what I'm going to do is that I'll swap the color here. I'll come and paint again here. I'll come and paint again here in white, so it should be visible around here like that. Alright, so once I'm done now, I'm going to load in my image. Or maybe I need to look for a background, so I'll look for a background. I'll just come here, just go to Pinterest. I'll just say background, and let me just create a new Pinterest because we need to use that. Let me see this. Okay, let me see. So let me just say background. Oh, background. My spelling is mad. Let me just select this one here. Okay, background. I like this one. Let me just click on it. So I'll just copy it. Take copy, then come here, and then I paste it. So this is more of try and error. So I'm going to insert this. I'm going to insert this. Now you adding this depends on the information that was given to you. So it depends on what you intend to get. So let me just try this blending modes. Voila. I like this one. So I'm going to right click and convert it to a smart object. I'll call it BG. And now I'll try to add a limit. I'll try to add blur a bit around it, Gaussian blur. So I'll go to filter, blur, Gaussian blur, and then I'm going to take down the opacity of the Gaussian blur like this. So now I have something like this. Voila. So now let me load my image. Let me think. I think we need to use this image. So I'll just drag this my image here and drop. If you're wondering how I remove the background from this actual image, that's something that I've seen before. So I'm just going to take it up here. That's something that I've seen before. So I'm just going to explain it again. So what I do is that I'll just make sure that my picture is selected. Then I'll go to layer. I'll go to quick selection. Then I'll click on select subject, and then it's going to automatically select it. Then I click on this layer mask here to check the layer mask that you are seeing it here. So that's it. So I have something like this. Or let me just do it so they don't get confused. For those that are joining for the first time, please, if you're joining for the first time, do subscribe, like and subscribe. Alright, so this is what I'm saying. So I'm going to select this, then I'll go on my quick selection, select subject, and then I'm going to zoom in very well to make sure that everything, all the parts that I need are all selected. Then let me just adjust this thing here. I don't need this parts here, so I'm going to click on minus, and I'll come down here and you just click on it a bit like this. Now it has gone right inside, which is what I don't want. So I'm going to click back on plus and readjust it until I have what I like. So I'm just going to click on create layer mask. So this is what I have now. So first thing first, I'm going to convert this again to a smart object, and I'm going to put it in a group, drag and drop in a group, and I'll call it images. I'm going to call it images. So I'll select this one, this, and this by pressing Ctrl while clicking on them, and this as well. Then I'll drag and drop on top of this folder here. Then I'm going to group it, and I'll call it BG. So I have something like this now. Okay, so with this, what I'm going to do is that I'll add a layer mask on this by selecting the images and add a layer mask, and then I'll come here. I'll click on my gradient here, and I'll also make sure that what I have up here is black and white. So I'm going to click on black and white. So I'll just click like this and draw. You get. So I'm going to click like this and draw something like this. But if you don't want to make something like this, right, it's fine. You don't want to make it have it like this, it's totally fine. So you can decide to do it. So I just want to show you how you can actually blend image like this. But if you just know what you want it to be straight, you can just turn it off. Then maybe you just zoom your image right down, just zoom your image like this. You get. You can just zoom your image, and then this time around now you can just maybe add a gradient again on top, add a gradient on top of it, gradient like this. What's gradient here? Then you can just take it up like this. And you can change the blending mode to multiply. Voila. Now I feel like the gradient is affecting touching the face. I'm going to click on the gradient here. Let me take this right up. I'm going to click on the gradient here, and then I choose my brush tool or press B on my keyboard. I make sure that the foreground color here is black. It's black. I'm going to change it to black. Then I paint so that I remove everything. Also, I remove everything that's inside. So I'm going to paint around it like this. Sorry. So I just press Ctrl Z in case you do something. To undo, we press Ctrl Z. Okay, so here now, I think so far most getting there. So this is what I'm going to do. I feel like I need to do some retouching. So let me just select my subject. I select my images, and I'll go to adjustment layer, and then brightness. Let me touch the brightness a little bit like this. Increase it a bit. I make sure that I press on clipping mask so that it clips on top of the actual image. Yeah, so I have something like this. Let me overdo it. And then now I'm going to click on the image again. I'm just going to add a new layer, a new adjustment layer, which is a color balance. The color balance, I'll just try to pull, I'll just see so that it matches with the blue. So I'm just do some little tweak. So I'm going to also come to mid-tones. So make sure I do it on mid-tones. So I do it on mid-tones and highlights, and then also shadow as well. So you have something like this. Then once you're done, just make sure to go to shadow and also do some change touches. And let me just leave it like this. Also leave it like this. So you can see before, after, before, after. So instead of taking down the actual yellows that were on it, so I feel like it stands out. It made my image to be cool. Let me see. Let me go back again. Was this background really the best? That's the question. Was the background really the best? Remember, it's a kind of a concert. So let me see this background. How does this background work? Let me try to copy it and then add it to my background here. Add it behind. Let me just click on this, my tool here. Come and click on the background. Click here. Let me add it behind and see. And I'm going to turn this off so that I see how it looks. Increase it. Let me change the blending mode so I see how it looks. Okay, so I like this thing. I like this one. It looks good. Color dodge. I like the blending mode of color dodge for this particular project. So I'm going to also convert it to a smart object like I just did, and then add ghost and blur around it and see how it looks. Ghost and blur. Sorry. Okay, so with the ghost and blur, let's increase it a bit and see how it looks. It's not looking bad. It's not looking bad. But then let me just turn off. Let me just add the layer mask on it and then paint off this. I don't like this thing here. I don't like all this thing here. I don't like it. Color it off. Let me see before, after. Okay, let's just work with this and see. Okay, now let's look for information now. Let's look for information now. Information. Now let's just say maybe I need to go back to this. I need to draw this with black. I need to come back here, change my background color to white, and make sure that the figures in here show very well, so that when I add my text, it should be visible. Yeah. So also I'm going to click on this image and also take it up a bit. Yes, I'm going to take it up a bit so when I add my text, don't disturb it. Okay. So that's fine. That's our text. So let's say KOCEE life. Make sure that my text are at the top. Right at the top. I'm going to change. I'm going to say KOCEE, for example. Let me use this typeface called FAFTA. This is what I use. I'm going to write KOCEE. Okay, let me see KOCEE. Now remember this our sample here. I'm going to sample the color from it. So I'm going to this is my KOCEE here. I'm not going to see it because this color, my sample up here is actually locking it, so you're not going to see it. But I'm just going to double click on it on the KOCEE, and then here you have it, layer style. So I'm going to click on gradient overlay. My gradient overlay, I'm going to change the click inside and then change the settings. With this, I'm going to change it to this color here. I'm going to sample this color here, and then with this, I'm going to sample the next white color here, like this. So that's okay. I'm going to click OK. So I'm just going to drag this one here, and then also I'm going to drag this one like this, and then I'll click somewhere beside. I have the same exact copy, and then I'll just drag it toward this end too, and I'll put this one at the center. To measure that you are at the center here, I'm just going to change the location here to 50 instead. Okay, so 59 put it at the center. Here should be 100, or here should be 0. So to make sure that you are at the center, I'm going to click OK. I'm going to also click OK again. Now I'm going to hide this and let's see what's happening. Yeah, so this is what we have now. But I feel like I'm not supposed to touch the hand, so I'm going to take it right down like this. And I feel like this picture was not the best, but again, we're going to work on it like that. So I'm going to take it up Let me see. Okay, voila. I think something is still coming up. So you have something like this. So I'm going to add shadow on it. I'll double click on it and then come down to drop shadow. I'll click on the drop shadow. Make sure that I have black color here. Then I'll also make sure that the opacity is not too that much, and then the size, I'll increase it a bit. Let me see. Let me zoom and see what's happening. Let's see what's happening. It's not bad. It's not bad. So I'm going to just put it like this. Take down the opacity a bit. And I'm good to go. I don't have to make it that much. Not obvious. So now this is what I have. Let me just say KOCEE. Then I will just put life in. Now this life in, I want to change the words. I want to change the typeface to integral. Let me use this integral bold here, demi bold. So I'm going to take down this size, and then I'm going to change this from lorem ipsum. I'm going to change the text to life in. Let me say life in. Paris. Life in Paris. Okay, so with this life in Paris, what I'm going to do is that I'll add tracking. This 200. That's how it looks. Life in Paris. Sorry, not life Paris. Life in Paris. Oh, I'll just say KOCEE life concept instead. Life concept. Like this. See KOCEE life concept. KOCEE life concept. So you have something like this. So I'm going to increase the size here. Like this. I'm just going to click here and then maybe add this around it. Life concept. This is what I'm going to have. So what I'm going to do is that I'm going to just click here. I'm going to readjust it, and this is what we have. Now I'm just going to add the what again? We need to add the date. So with the date, I'm just going to duplicate this by press Alt and then just drag on top. Just drag this to have a duplicate. So I'm going to call it. Let me just say. What's the date of today? 12. No, 12 today is okay, today is 6. So we're going to call it maybe 7th. I'm just going to say 7th May. Call it like 7th of May. They call it 7th of May. 7th of May 2025. 7th of May 2025. 0 like this. Let me just put just 200 here for kenning. When I say kenning, when I bring a mouse here, you're going to see it say kenning. So this is it. Sorry, tracking. Sorry, tracking, not kenning. Please don't get me wrong. Tracking. So this is it here. Let me just reduce this. Okay, so this is what we have, like this. This is what we have, and then this is what we have now. So we have this. So I'm going to duplicate this, and then I'll call this location. I'll call it, instead of having this location here, I'll go online and look for location icon. So I'll just come here and type location icon. I'm going to click on this first one here. You can click on anyone, but I'm going to click on this first one. When I click on it, I need to allow it to load. So my network is not really the best. Okay, no, it's not bad. I'll allow it to load. So I'm just going to copy it. Click and take copy, and I bring it here. Click select this thing and paste it there. Now look at what happened. Take OK. It has a background, and that's not what I want. So I'm just going to go to my eraser. If you don't know where your eraser is, just press E on your keyboard. It's going to activate the eraser. Then you right click now and take magic eraser. Or you need to click on, you need to click outside. So you're not seeing the size of your eraser here because the cap lock is on. You turn it off. going to see this, the eraser. Click here to move this inside. Now to have this. Now I'm going to commit this to a smart object, and I'll call it layers. Sorry, I'll call it location. 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 So this is what I have here. So I have my location, and I'll call it the location. Let me just say polyvalent. Let me just say polyvalent. And you say polyvalent. So I'm just going to put it like this. Can I just put this here so that it does not occupy too much space? So I'm just going to put it somewhere here, like this. I'll call this is my location, polyvalent. I'm going to read the size of this location is too big. Now I'm going to also change the font weight here. I'm going to change from the Mibo to regular, and I'm also going to add the spacing, the tracking to let's say 100, and then maybe reduce the size, something like this. So you have this, something like this. We have something now. I think something is coming out. So we have this now. Location. So we have location. It's a date, location, and what again? Date, location, and contact info. So for the contact info, I'm going to have something like this. Let me just. I don't think I need this. This for the contact info. I think we're just going to take this one like this. I'm going to take it somewhere here. And then now no, it's okay like this. Let me just arrange it too well. So you have something like this. Let me just increase it a bit. Now I'll just right click and duplicate this. Then I'll say now for more info. For more info, they should contact. For more info, contact. And I put my number 6735. So I have something like this. Something like this. So please note that at the end you need to commercially adjust some few things to make sure that things balance well. So you make sure that you're not making mistakes. Let me see. So you have something like this. Okay, so let me increase this my contact information, which is very important. So you have something like this, and then I just clear it and put it somewhere here. So everything, all of this align on the same line, because now they will need to add sponsors. Now they need to add sponsors. So I'm going to select these two like this. Now I'll go here and I'll click on these two, but just at the center. You have something like this. And then you have this. You just make sure that they're all balanced. Now remember, whenever you start working on a project, make sure that you have activate your guide and make sure that you have a center. So I'm going to select all of this thing and I'll put contact. I'll put maybe date, location, and contact like this. So I know whatever is there. So I'm going to click on my entire project and I'm going to click on this guide here, in this ruler here. I'm just drag inside. To where the center is going to snap. Voila, this is my center. Now if you don't have this here, make sure that you press on R and activate it. So you activate your R. You have something like this. I feel like these things are still too big. So I'm going to select both these two I'm going to scale it down, something like that. I'm going to scale it down. I'm going to scale it down like this, and then I don't know. So I just feel like something is odd. Something is odd. Something feels odd. I don't know. Somewhere on regards to the date, actually, there's the date, 7th May. So I have 7th May here. Let me just duplicate this and bring it here, or let me just copy this. Maybe come somewhere up here, paste it there. And then say maybe the same Wednesday or Tuesday. So we put it that you need to scale it, you need to make it so that it fits within. Something like this. I'm going to change the color of this maybe to pure white, so it's totally different. You can create contrast between. Now I have something like this. Now I'm going to put this somewhere here. I'm also going to put this one somewhere here. Let me select both and make sure that I'm at the center. I'll activate my guides. Wow. To activate your guide, you can go to view. To activate the guide, you can go to view. Where's view? You can go to view, then scroll down to show, and then make sure that show guides. So that's, I'm using the shortcut. Okay, so we have something like this. This is where we are as of now. So I think we need to add the year. So 2025. We need to add the 2025. Actually, there's no way we can do without it. 2025. Oh, so here, this is where we are. I'm going to do the size of 2025. This way it's not really that priority, so then I'm going to increase it like this. Alright, this is where we are so far. So if you have sponsors, so we're going to align our sponsors down here like this. Okay, so here we have our sponsors. Align our sponsors down there. Okay, now let's say, do we have sponsors? Let's go down. Go down here. Let me just say logo. Let's see if we have some logos here. Logo, let me see. Okay, let me say these are my sponsors. So I'll just drag this and bring it inside here and drop it. Maybe these are my sponsors, so I'm just going to drag this and drop them down here, and I'm going to use the magic eraser tool and remove this make that okay, because I'm on top of it. I want to flatten it, so I'm going to click on this to remove them. So to flatten it, when you click on it, they will ask you to rasterize it, and that's what you do. Once you're done now, you can commit it back to a smart object, and then now double click on it and give it a color. So I have something like this. So this might be what I want. So if this always were my sponsor, I would probably have something like this. And then let me see if I have, like, let me see J Studio. Oh, nothing. Logo. Okay, let's just put this. So there are sponsors. So let's double click, convert, add a layer, add a color overlay to make it white or whatever color you want to use. And let's track it down here. Let me see, do I have other logos? Okay, it's another one. Okay, those are other logos. I don't want to use them. Okay, here. Okay, let's assume that this have this as our sponsor. OSS. We are seeing this. Okay. Please note that none of this is this is just a fictional flyer. So okay, so we have something like this. Let's assume they have just this theory. So we have 3 of them like this. So I'm going to select the theory and make sure that I align them very well. Press 1, select the first one, press shift, click on the second one. Oh, please be very careful when you're clicking. Make sure that you don't select this thing. If you select it, you can just press command and click on it. It's going to deselect. Have this. So this is what we have. Let me select it again. 1, shift, and then I press on this. Shift and I press on this too. So make sure it's adjusted here. Alright, so this is where we are. This is where we are. Now just adjust it here as well again. So you have this, have something like this. Okay. I feel like we can actually take this up like this, take this somewhere here, and then also take this one somewhere here. And let's take it somewhere here like this, and this to the 2, and try to balance it. Let's try to balance it. Let's try to balance it. Let's try to balance it. I think it's cool now, so we're good to go. So these are my sponsors. I have something like this. Yeah, so it's what you have. Okay, make sure that I align this at the center as well. So this one is locked, so make sure that I select the logos and then I put it at the center. So make sure everything is center aligned. If the logos are too small, I'm going to increase it a bit. So you have something like this. That's my sponsors. Okay, so we have this. Now let's go back to our editing. If you notice, the text does not really stand out well. So what I'm going to do is that I will increase this this gradient here. It's not really standing out well, so I have to add it. So because I clean it, I'm going to make sure that I click on the layer mask again. Then I make sure I have white here so that it should be visible, so you can see now. Voila. So like I said, most flyers are minimalistic, so it doesn't need to be complicated. Let me click on this and adjust it again. Okay, so I need to also make this now looks good, so I need to adjust the highlights here. I'm going to click here on I'm going to add my brush. Click on my brush, then somewhere up here, so that it's on top of the image, I'm going to click on and add new layer mask, new empty layer. I'm going to call it highlights still, highlight image, probably that. So I'm going to change this to white. So change my size. It's going to pen like this. And then I'm going to change this to screen. I think I need to actually bring this around here so that I can clip inside. And then also I'm going to sample this color around here, maybe somewhere around here like that. So I can also, so same thing, can add something here. So to make sure that, to make it in such a way that it looks like there's a light popping from behind, like remember the other one. So yeah, something like that. So yeah, something like this. Now we might decide to have something like this, which is still fine. So we make it to look clean. So you have something like this. We can just say Powerhouse Presents. So just click on this. Let's add text up here. Call it say Powerhouse Presents, something like this. Then we'll add it, increase it. Like this. So I'll also make sure that I center this, put this one at the center. So let me increase it and see. Oh, so so this means that this is not actually at the center, or how? Yes, let me see. Usually at the center. Okay, this is the center in here instead. Okay, this is it. Sorry guys, so this is the main center. I'm going to increase this. So I'm also going to readjust all these things to make sure that this is come back to the center. So I'm just going to select them here, click on it, center. Same thing here. So that's the bad thing. When you make a mistake, you need to readjust everything from scratch again. So this is what I have here. So I have here. So this is it. Maybe I can change this one here to actually red. Let's see. Let's add some red to it so that it can also stand out. Change this to red. Yeah, so the red here is going to act as a complementary color. You get, so it's like a complementary color. I'm going to also make sure that it's at the center. Complementary color. I'm going to reduce the size too much. So here something like this. So you have something like this. Maybe the spacing here is too much. Live concept. Maybe say live in concert or live concert, whichever. So something like this. Yeah, so this display is minimalistic. Alright, so I think this is it. So I'm going to do my final touches as I usually do. I'm going to add my color balance to balance the overall image color balance. So I'm going to balance the overall image with this. So I'm balancing everything, including the background, the foreground, to make sure that everything blends well together. This I'm going to do is just random tweak. Remember, my picture is cool, so I need to make sure that everything is cool. So you can see before, after. So yeah, so let me check the shadows too. No, not too much. Okay, so let's try to see if I think this works. And then out the last thing I usually add to all my flyer. Let me see before without the background, with the background, so you can see with and without the background. So sometimes the background is just a distraction. You might want to remove it, you might want to keep it, depending on what you have. Depending on what you have, so you might want to reduce or keep it. So that depends on solely on you. Have something like this. Okay, so what I usually do, remember what I usually do at the end. So I'm going to select everything, Control Shift Option plus E, Control Shift Option plus E, and then I'm going to convert it to a smart object. So I'm going to create this. Now convert it to a smart object, and then now I'm going to come right here. I'm going to my camera raw, do my last touches. First thing first, I'll go to Effect, and then I'll increase the clarity. And I'll increase the texture a bit. Now I'll come down to vignette, I'll add a vignette, and I'll also touch this one like that. Okay, I think I don't need to overdo this. So let me see. Yeah, I think by like this point is fine. Maybe I might want to play with the highlights a little bit again. I don't overdo it again, to have something like this. So this is what we have here. Oh, the same, my battery is running out. So you can see I'm going to go down to details and also I'm going to sharpen it a bit. And I want to reduce noise. If I want to add noise, it's very simple. All I need to do is just to go to to effects, and I'll add my noise. I don't really want to add noise here. So if we can add a noise here, it's going to also still look different, nice, depending. So it's another noise. I'm going to click OK once I'm done. Wow, you can see before, after. So what I usually do is that at the end I usually take down the opacity from 100% to, let's say, 75 or 70, so that it blends again with the background. So this is what I have for if you're working on a flyer, as simple as that. Okay, so this is just one. Now let's work on the next one, which is a church flyer. Let me just create a new document, the same document. Since this I already have this dimension here, I'm just going to click OK to continue the same dimension with the other one. So what I'm going to do is that I'll go to my Pinterest, I look for sample. Okay, for sample church flyers. Let's go to sample church flyers. Revival worship. Revival worship. And I want to look for someone for a particular one that I need to play with text very well, so that we see it, how to play along with text. How to play along with text. Okay, let's just use this one now. Let's say this is our background. Use a simple background. So let's click on this. Maybe use this one as our background. So it's a church flyer. So I'm going to click on this. Just drop it here. Copy and drop it here, and then increase it. Voila. So next is to look for the sample that I want to work with. So what I want to do is I want to look for an image where I can actually copy maybe the text for the sake of this tutorial. Which one? Okay, I like this one. So let's work with something like this. Yes, let's work with something like this. So divine visitation. So when they say divine visitation, I think it has to do with maybe probably Holy Spirit visiting someone. So if we're talking about Holy Spirit, we cannot use this kind of image, this kind of background. So first of all, off. So when we talk about Holy Spirit, we're already thinking of maybe cloud, maybe a white dove carrying something, So with that, I'm going to go to I want to bring this background here. I'm going to bring it right inside here and drop. So I'm going to bring it right inside here. I'm just going to drop it here. Let me just add a white background on top of it, white solid color on top of it, or maybe something between like towards blue, like that. Let me see if I change the blending mode. How does it look? Okay, I think this looks better. So I'm going to have something like this. I'm going to also change this color here, this foreground color here, to white, sorry, and then I'm going to add it here. And I'm going to take it up, so I have something now like this, which is looking good already. My background looking nice already. So if you have noticed, I'm already working on I started by working on my background first before importing my picture, so please take note. Remember, I was talking about divine visitation, so I'm going to type divine visitation here. Divine visitation. So I have something like this. I'm going to use this font called Impact, or I can use this Anton. I'm going to change. Remember, you are seeing this because, let me increase it so you see it well. You are seeing this spacing because we changed it the other time, so we need to take it back to 0, which is the default, like this, and then we'll take this alt into caps. So you have this, and then we look for a text that matches with this background. Okay, so I'm going to scale this up. So divine visitation. I'm going to change the color to see some between blue. I'm not going away from blue. Remember, I was talking about the divine visitation. So it's blue, 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 blue. So you have something like this. Yeah. And you don't really I don't really like the blue, so I want the blue to look more mature. So let me try something right down. Yeah, I think it's going to do better. So I'm going to also change this. I'm trying to use a gradient. Use a gradient. Use two gradient. I'm going to take off this one. The first one is going to still be blue. I'm moving towards blue. So instead you need to make it more mature by making it a gradient instead of just a solid single color. So I have something like this. So you're changing, you're looking it down here too. You get. So you know what you need to also you need to make sure that it works. It's also working with the brand color of the church. So please take note that you're working with the brand color of the church as well. Let me see. So you have something like this. So you have this, okay, so you have something like this. Alright, so I'm going to manipulate this text a bit. Divine visitation, I'm going to come here. I'm going to change arc. So I'm going to move this like this, not too much, minus plus 10. And then I'm going to try to play along with it a bit. Is this what I wanted to do now? I want to try, let me see this. Okay, voila, or something like this, or something like this. So you have something like this, something like this. So I think I like this one. Just leave it like this. Divine visitation. So I'm just going to duplicate this one and just put visitation. Yes. I'm going to do the size like this. So still divine visitation. So you can see. Now I'm going to change the color. I'm going to change this. I'm going to change this to something different. Maybe a little bit of a different color, something different. So I'm going to 1 minute. Let me see what's happening here. Let me see what's happening. Okay, so anyway, I'm going to use what I'm going to use. Thing divine visitation. So still within that this one, not going too far from it, somewhere here. Click OK. So it's our divine visitation. Let's make sure that we have our layer, our guides, center guide selected. Voila. So make sure that the two are aligned at the center. Good. So you have something like this. You have this. So I'm going to drag my image and drag my image. Where's my image? I already showed you how to change the background. So I'm just going to drag it here and drop it somewhere here. Here we have it, our divine visitation. So I'm going to drag it and we increase it like this. Call it divine visitation. Now I'm going to actually scale it and then just put it down like this. So this is going to be our assignment. You're going to finish it and send. So you have something like this. You have something like this. So with this now you can actually have your other text right here. Alright, so this is going to be your assignment. So you're going to finish it and send to me.